Hi there, Taylor here, one of Enji's founders. Now, whether you have been using Enji for a while or you are new to it, there are some things that you can do that maybe you don't realize. And so today I wanted to show you my 7 favorite kind of hidden things that you can do in Enji. And this is what we're going to talk about today. Creating a next occurrence in repeating tasks, using the visual planner for Instagram in the social media scheduler, adding a blog to the body of an AI copywriter draft and using the copywriter to finish writing it, the list view on the calendar, creating custom KPIs, color coding, and the fact that you can connect multiple profiles to your social media scheduler. So the first thing that I want to show you is something that has to do with those repeating tasks that help you build your marketing routine. Now, this is my actual Enji's marketing calendar in Enji, and I always have to remind you that your marketing calendar shouldn't look like this because I spend the majority of my time doing marketing things, and you're probably in the situation where you're like, Taylor, I have an hour or two to work on marketing every week. So that's, like I said, the thing that I always have to remind you. But one of the core pieces of my marketing routine is my email marketing. And so I have a repeating task that every other week I'm going to be working on this. Now, if I want to plan ahead and start to leave myself details about what the email newsletters I'm actually going to sit down and write on March 4th are, then what I do is I click on this little 3-dot icon and I hit Create Next Occurrence. And what that does is it removes this task from the repeating pattern. It doesn't move it, but it disconnects it because essentially all these repeats are just a copy of one task. So in order to make changes to something that doesn't impact the rest of them, you create the next occurrence, and now you can see it's not attached to the pattern, and I can add those details of what exactly I'm going to write in terms of email newsletters there. So again, for all of those tasks that you have as a part of your marketing routine, this is a really great way for you to use the task to do your future planning. Now, the next thing that I wanted to show you is related to our social media scheduler. And so I've got an Instagram post here. And one of the things that people ask for all the time and maybe miss is the fact that we have a visual planner. So when you drop something onto your calendar, then you can hit this button, preview your Instagram feed. And as long as your Instagram account is already attached, then you're going to see this preview of how things go. Now, one of the things that makes our visual planner different is that we drop in these gray boxes on the dates that you are planning on putting something there, but you haven't uploaded a photo or a video yet, because I want you to be able to see the gap that you're trying to fill. And so this is super helpful. But yes, we have that visual planner attached to the Instagram scheduler. And so it's this little button, the preview Instagram feed. Now, the next thing that I wanted to show you is related to the AI copywriter. Now, if you're using the AI copywriter to draft blogs, you can certainly use like the very straightforward approach, which is prompting our AI copywriter in this area that you see up here at the top. So giving it a topic, writing some additional details, including the SEO keywords if you know them, and then a content pillar as well if you want to choose to do that. But one of actually the better way to get the best first draft is to give yourself more of an opportunity to write a more robust and detailed prompt, because there are some basically character limits around how much you can type here in the additional details field. So if you want to go and write an outline that includes like, hey, this is what's going in my introduction, and then this is what's going in paragraph 1, and then paragraph, I can't type and talk at the same time, 2, and then this is what's going to go in the closing. You can build something out kind of like an old school outline that we were all taught in elementary school. And then because you have typed in this part of the document, Enji knows that, hey, the human has already started working on something. So they're not asking me to draft something from like nothing. They're probably going to ask me to make edits. So this button has changed to make edits to this draft. And then what you can do is in the any additional instructions spot, just type something to the effect of, and again, I can't talk and type at the same time, so if there's typos, forgive me, finish writing the blog post based on the outline below, and then hit rewrite it for me. And then Enji is going to write its draft for you based on what you've outlined here. And again, you get a really great draft when you give the copywriter more details to work off of. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to show you is back on the calendar. And this is something that when we first launched Enji, it always showed, but it made the calendar a little bit cramped. So we reworked things to make the calendar view bigger, and we hid what we called the list view, but it's up here still in the upper right hand corner. And so if you want to see a list of things that you have coming up for the week, then you click on that icon and then you see what's coming up today, tomorrow, Sunday, for the next 7 days. There's even a spot for you to put tasks that you'll work on someday, because we all have those things. And if you're really curious about what you've completed, then you can go and look here. But this is more helpful in some cases than the Today tab that just shows you what you need to do today, right? If you want to stay super focused. If for whatever reason you want to see the list view of what you can see on your calendar, again, just click that little icon there. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to show you is in regards to your KPIs. And so something that not everybody knows is that you can create custom KPIs. And so all you need to do is click into the KPI list and then click the plus button. And then you can totally create a KPI from scratch and create a chart with it or add it to another chart. And so a really good example of why people would do this is for when you want to track your leads by source, right? So if we're talking about, most of you are service-based businesses. So if you want to track, okay, well, I've got this many leads that came from referrals, and this many that came from Google, and this many that maybe came from a marketplace listing, then you would create custom KPIs for each of those things and then add them into a chart. So that was one of the other ones I wanted to show you. Now, one of the second to last thing that I want to show you is that anywhere that you see a color in Enji, you can customize it to be your brand colors. Now, on this side of the screen, when you go into your account settings, this theme color is what's going to be the default for a lot of stuff. But what I see oftentimes is people have gone and updated the theme color, and so this is on brand, but then I see their strategy and some of their tasks and whatnot, and they're Enji's brand colors. But you can totally make these your brand colors as well. So if wherever you see a color, just click into the element, and then I know my face is kind of blocking it, but there's a spot here for colors. It'll pull up your color palettes, or you can do something custom there. But on your strategy page, you can do that. You can update all of the colors on your channels if you want. And then another place that you can do that is here in marketing campaigns. There's a spot that's called out right here for the color. Again, wherever you see a color, please feel free to update that to be one of your brand colors. And the last thing that I wanted to show you is the fact that you can have multiple profiles connected to your Enji account. And we get asked this all the time, like, can I manage more than one Instagram account in my Enji account? And the answer is yes. So if you go into settings and then click connected accounts, then all you need to do is click the plus button to add more profiles. So you can see here that I have the Pretty Okay podcast Instagram account connected in addition to Enji's Instagram account. But this is really helpful because I know if you have one business, you probably have at least part of another one, but we don't want to force you into needing 2 different Enji accounts. So this is something that a lot of folks are using. So I hope you learned something about all the little things that you can do in Enji and that you're like, oh, this is really going to help me make the most out of my account. And if you have any questions, as always, just hit us up through the chat bubble that you see when you are logged into your account. Or if you have any questions, you can drop them in the comments of this video and I will be sure to answer.